What's good, y'all? I'm about to send this link out. Then we're going to go ahead and get started. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second, y'all. I don't know why I didn't connect to my AirPod. My AirPod must be dead. Let's send this link out. Then we'll go ahead and get started, y'all. Where is the thing? Here it is. We are live. Down. Boom. Now let's go ahead and put this stuff down. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Let me know how the mic sound when y'all hop up in here. There's a couple setups we're looking for. I was looking at this GJ setup, but it didn't take off literally until a couple hours ago. I was looking at it during Tokyo session, but price was retracing. As we can see here, this was 8 o'clock. This was 11 o'clock. It wasn't until 1 a.m. price started to push back up. So now, as far as GJ is concerned, we're waiting to see if we can break back above this resistance level at 183.75. 183.80, but not just break above that level. We want to see if it can hold it as a support, because as you can see yesterday, it failed to do so the first time, then it tried again the second time, and it failed on the retest to still hold that level as a support. So that's what we're going to be waiting on for GJ, to see if GJ can do that for us. Just dropped the video yesterday, y'all. If y'all have not checked that video out yet, go ahead and check that out after the live. I'm about to drop that in the chat. I got a bunch of other content dropping for y'all later on this week. Be on the lookout for that. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we're looking at your charts, drop them in the chat. And we're just chilling, patiently waiting right now. There's a couple other setups we're looking at as well. I've got some alerts popping off. That's GJ trying to break that level. So we'll see if GJ can break that level for us. I'm liking GA as well as a possible buy setup. I want to see how this 15 closes. We're going to go over the indices as well in a second. I just want to look at these other currency pairs really quick. You guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we're looking at your charts, drop them in the chat. Yeah, we checked at that level. Let's back on this right here. So if y'all watched the chart analysis on Sunday, we was talking about the indices as well as the other currency pairs. We was bearish on NAS, right? We had broken the higher lows to the left, we broken the highs to the left. But what is required for the downtrend to continue? We need these support levels to continue to get broken and treated as resistance. As we can see here, when NAS broke this level at around 16,300, it failed to hold this as resistance. As you can see by these two wicks here, these two daily candlesticks. And then since price failed to hold this level as resistance, it rejected back to the upside. So depending on how price reacts up here, we could see this as just a retracement and possibly look for sales again. But price starts holding these levels of support again, we could see the uptrend and bullish momentum come back into play. So I'm really going to be watching to see how it reacts between like 16,600, especially at this level right here, 16,550. I'm going to see if it's going to hold these levels of support or reject. Personally, I'm going to look for buys if price breaks and holds 16,730 as a support. But if it pushes back down, we could look for sales again. But right now, we're watching to see how it's reacting to these levels. In the gold position with the members right now, we just hit TP1. We're going to see if we can hit TP2 and beyond right now, but we just hit TP1, so we're blue on this right now. We're going to see if we can keep pushing for us. New 15 just started. Also looking at a possible GA buy. Right, just like I was looking at it yesterday. Again, we was bearish a couple weeks ago. Kind of same thing with NAS. The downtrend couldn't continue because, as we can see here, price failed to break the support level, entered as resistance, and the price rejected to the upside. That's kind of what we just saw NAS do and the other indices yesterday. So we have this huge level of traffic above us on the daily level right here, which is going to be needed to be broken for the uptrend to continue. So we're either going to see price attempt to break that today, or we could see a retracement happen today because it has been shooting up for a few days. But we're going to see how it reacts to this level right here. But I mainly want to pay attention to GJ to see if we can break this level. But I got alerts on this right now. As you can see, let's get rid of this. You can literally see how it's treated as low as resistance. I was going to say it kind of struggling to break it, but you just kind of saw price try to force his way as soon as I zoomed in, which is funny. But you can see for the past 15 going on 30 minutes how price has been struggling to break and hold this low, which is exactly why we're patiently waiting to see if price can do that for us. Excuse me. I'm trying not to mess y'all's ears up, so I'll hold that one in. You guys got any questions? Drop in the chat. When you're looking at your chart, drop in the chat. But goals are doing this thing for us right now as we speak. TP2 just got hit. Let's see if we can break this level right here. Again, we've been talking about sales for the past couple of weeks, talked about it in the Sunday chart analysis as well. Right? Because when we look at gold, we go on a naked chart. All right, so the naked chart. I got this chart marked up as well. Let's actually find a naked chart. All right, I just got everything marked off. Well, let's just delete this one. All right, there we go. All right, so when we look right here, we see price was trying to reattempt to continue the uptrend, broke this high to the left, but it's similar to NAS, failed to hold this level as support, rejected, started treating the support levels as resistance. Instead of seeing higher highs, we started to see lower lows. So since we are in a downtrend, until price shows us otherwise, I'm only going to look for sales. Just like if we're an uptrend, until price shows us otherwise, I'm only going to look for buys. So that's why we're looking for sales today. That's why we went for sales today. And that's why we've been talking about sales the past couple of weeks. And then again, when we look here, we can see way more red than green. And then the red candles are way bigger than the green, which explains why the moves down are way bigger than the moves up. When we hop on the charts and take a look at this stuff right here. So we have this resistance, this support level that we need to get broken right here. So we're going to see if we can break that during this 15. You guys got any questions? Drop them in the chat. When you're looking at your chart, drop them in the chat. We're watching a couple charts right now. Webinar promotions. What's going on? How's it going? I made it up to check you out. I really need to go ahead and hop on the course. You know what I'm saying? You know where it's at. Ain't going nowhere. It's not going nowhere. Shout out to you though, because the way you word it seems like this is outside of your regular scheduled sleep pattern. So shout out to you. You did the first step. Getting up. What's going on? PS, what's going on with PS? I see you in here. How you feeling, man? How you feeling? When you add your levels, do you just keep levels on your chart, or do you delete levels and add them each time? So personally, it would be a lot better if I did it every single day. But since I go through a bunch of charts, like I look at 10 plus charts a week, I just update my levels like 2 to 3 times a week. But if you wanted to, you could redo your levels every single day. But I personally redo them like 2 to 3 times a week. But when it's a new week, I redo my levels. Like on Sunday, that's when I delete all and redo them. And then sometimes on like Wednesday or Thursday, I'll redo the levels again. But I redo them at least 2 to 3 times a week. But as you can see, even with that being the case, well, let's put your question back up. But as you can see, even with that being the case, we can see how these levels are still relevant for a very, very, very long time, right? Like I mark my levels off based on what price has been doing right here the past couple of months. But if we look all the way down here, this is a year ago. Price still trading these levels of support resistance. This was 2022, 2 years ago. Price still trading these same levels of support resistance. So these levels are very, very, very relevant. And if I wanted to, I could never delete these levels. And that's one thing I used to do when I first discovered all this stuff. Because if you don't know, I taught on myself this. So when I first started, I was like, man, this stuff works. It backtracks to like decades, multiple years, the same. So I used to just like keep the same lines for weeks on weeks on weeks. But what I noticed was when a new day, a new week starts, there's more relevant levels than the levels that I have marked off. So I always suggest, to refresh and re-clean your charts. That way you are making sure you're trading on the levels nearest to where price is currently at this week and this day versus what was relevant a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and things like that. Even though you could still trade off those same levels, just trust me, updating levels, definitely helps you. Speaking from experience. Good question. Good question. What else we got up in here? So I'll tell you the best analysis. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. You guys got any questions? Drop in the chat. We're looking at charts. Drop in the chat right now. We're looking at a possible GJ setup. We're waiting to see if we can break it and hold 183.75, 183.80 as a support. Snuck off and did the move I was looking for about an hour and a half before I went live. Is what it is. It happens. In a goal setup, we hit TP2. It's kind of chilling right now, so we're going to see if we can break this level. We're just going to retrace and do a retest. And then we're watching the indices as well. I'm looking at a couple other currency pairs also. You guys got any questions? Drop in the chat. We're looking at charts. Drop in the chat. But we're just chilling, patiently waiting. I had this buy sell. This took off as well. Did the move I was looking for. We got a little bit of choppy just going on with GU. But it did break back above 27.25 though. So we're going to see what today looks like. As far as news, we don't have any news popping off either today. We just got Australia news later on tonight when markets reopen at 7:30 EST. But tomorrow, again, it's kind of one of those weird weeks. Thursday and Friday is still a regular Thursday and Friday. So depending on how volume acts today during London session, might be a decent New York session. But again, it's just going to be a regular Monday and Tuesday. No high impact news for the most part. So we're simply just going to be waiting for volume or setups and confirmations. But Wednesday is when things start to pick up news-wise. At 9:15, we got GBP news. The Thursday at 8:30, we got USD news going to be going live with the members. Looks like it's going to be Thursday and Friday we're going to be going live. I might switch it up and maybe go live Wednesday one of the days. I know Thursday and Friday, if not both of those days, we're going live one of those days with the members for sure. Members, you already know, I'll let y'all know ahead of time what day that's going to be. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join a free signal room for Telegram. You see on your screen how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link and check that out for yourselves. We're going to pull it up in a second. Looking at a few other charts, but yeah, a lot of charts are just kind of consolidating and chilling right now. So we're just waiting for volume to pick up and see if we can break or hold these levels. Yesterday we caught a nice NAS move. We hit TP2 and then we got caught in the reversal. So we caught 4,500 pips. Started the week off all right. I mean, it would have been nice to have more TPs, but again, you don't control the market. That's why we got to watch the charts. That's why I personally like to keep an eye on my charts while I'm in them. So we got caught in that reversal. But as far as how we did, we'll go over last quarter. Let's go over last month. Let's do things one thing at a time. So this is how we ended December. So while we do that, let me move this over. Keep an eye on this right here. Give me 1 second. I'll just put my other charts up. Make sure nothing takes off while we're going over this stuff. All right, bam. So this is how we did last month, December. We ended December 22-1, giving us a 96% win rate. Only lost one trade last month. We caught 24,481 pips, 24,089 strictly with the members and the advanced play signaling. Every trade posted as the date, time the trade was into, personal entry, SL, TP, time people viewed it into the trade, reactions, TPs getting hit, all that good stuff. You can see screenshots, positions, beautiful push to the upside, beautiful push to the downside, another beautiful push to the upside, just beautiful stuff right there. But you can see screenshots, positions, you can see, the recap of the week at the end of every week. At the beginning of every week, I drop the Sunday chart analysis, going over what I can see price doing for the entire week. You can see screenshots of the signals. You can also see student results, testimonials, all that good stuff. I hate how this does it. It doesn't do this on the app, but the app and the desktop version can't be exactly the same. All right. But y'all can check all this stuff out yourself. Shout out to my boy right here. You know who you are. But yeah, there's over 1,000 photos of just results, testimonials, screenshots, positions, all that good stuff. So you just go to photos, you can check all that stuff out. Well, that's how we did last month. As far as the quarter, this is how we did last quarter. We'll go over that in a second. Like I said, first look in the description. You can check all that out. Make sure to join as well. But yeah, right now we're chilling. Waiting for some more setups in the setup right now. But as far as future setups, just chilling, patiently waiting. Next trade will be in the free Telegram though, but waiting for that next trade, right? US30 did the same thing. Just looking at US30, was nice and bullish. Clear higher high, higher low, higher high. Price failed to break this resistance level at 37,730. Drop down. Start treating these levels as resistance, but when it hit this level at 37,280, with it down to continue, it failed to hold that as resistance to make a lower low. As we can see here, for 2 days straight, it respected that support. Since it couldn't break that level and trade as resistance, it rejected, shot back to the upside. So depending on how it reacts to this range here, we could see the uptrend come back into play. Right, so this is what I'm personally looking for on the indices, right? So the US30 can hold 37,730 as a support. I'm gonna look for buys. If it can hold this level of support, you could look for short-term buys at 37,600. So that's what I'm looking for. I wouldn't really look for sells unless price breaks back below 37,280, 37,270, holds that as resistance. You could possibly go for short-term sells at 37,430, but I'd rather right now look for buys because we pushed back up and we're in the buy zone territory. But again, like I always tell my members and students, price only does one of two things: it either goes up or goes down. So it's your job to know what's required for price to go up and what's required for price to go down, and also determine what personally is required for you to go for a buy or a sell. You know what I'm saying? So you always got to figure out, understand what price can do at all times. It's just like chess. You don't just move a piece. You got to think ahead of the game. Like, if I move this piece, what can they do? What's going to happen here? What's going to happen next? All right, you prepare for the worst, hope for the best. That way, when things happen, you're not confused, scratching your head, or freaking out. You understand what's going on at all times. It's still steady pushing. DJ still feels as resistance. We got a new 15 about to pop up in about a minute. So we're about to see what goes down. You guys got any questions? Drop them in the chat. Want to look at any charts? Drop them in the chat. Yeah, we're just waiting right now for some other setups, but as we can see, confirmations are met on the other charts, and in no rush to enter any trades. So we're just gonna let price do its thing. We're just gonna let price do its thing. Do you always enter trades on the 15? For the most part. Sometimes I go into 5 minute, but for the most part, I like the 15 for my entries and stuff like that. Do I only trade certain pairs? Yeah. So for the most part, I trade the indices, gold, and currency pairs. So, US30 NAS, SPX. I'll trade US oil sometimes, gold. And as far as like Forex pairs, I mean, I can look at any chart, but there are pairs I prefer to trade. Like if you would have caught me, I can't even say it last year. Wow. Not even last year, like 2 years ago, going on 2 years. When the playbook first began, right? So we can actually look at it. I was talking about this with a member the other day. So if you caught me, I can't even say last year no more, going on 2 years ago, I used to trade a whole bunch of pairs I don't trade anymore. Like if you watch my one of my first lives, well, maybe not my first live, maybe my second or third live. If you go to my YouTube channel right now, watch like my second or third live stream, or like my old live streams from when I first started streaming, you would have saw me have like literally like 20 tabs. I used to go through like 20 different pairs, but I was mainly doing that to prove a point because a lot of reasons why people struggle with trading is just excuses people make. And this isn't directed at you. This is just me talking in general. But a lot of people used to come up to me and be like, I only like this pair, or I can only trade during this session, or I can only do this, I can only do that. So literally, you can trade any pair. Like what I teach isn't just as a trading strategy; it's to teach you how to read the charts. Like y'all don't see me looking at CHF pairs at all. I used to trade CHF pairs. I used to trade your 30. I used to trade EUSDX. I used to literally try to find a recap. I used to call like literally like 6, 8 signals. I used to do stupid stuff. I mean, we still TP still used to get hit. I'm trying to find a recap really quick, right? I used to call a bunch of trades back in the day. Like right here, this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 7 trades in one day, and this was before, if I'm not mistaken, I even started trading Tokyo session. I believe this was when I was just strictly trading London and New York. So you can trade whatever pair you want once you understand how to read the charts. For me personally, I mean, if you look at the Sunday chart analysis I dropped earlier this week, that's basically all the pairs I like to look at on a regular basis. So like GJ, GN, GA, I look at the Euro pairs, U. But if it's got candlesticks and it's on a chart, you can read it, you can trade it if you want to. This works on crypto options, stocks, obviously currency pairs. You know what I'm saying? Obviously gold, and obviously indices and stuff. So that's the beautiful thing about trading. It works on anything. Obviously, depending on what you're trading, there's different rules, and options. Trading options is not exactly the same as forex trading, but as far as like market structure and the rules to price, we all follow the same rules. Excuse me. If y'all not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that sub button. We're almost at 2K subscribers. Shout out to all y'all. You guys got any questions? Drop them in the chat. We're looking at any charts. Drop them in the chat. See, GJ is rejecting that level. We're going to see if we can attempt to try to break it. But there's another reason why we trade off these levels and we exit off these levels. Gold's doing a retracement as well. US30 looks like it's going to try to break back below this level. So we're going to see how it reacts to this level right here. I want to watch how US30 reacts right here in this zone. Can I check gold? Yeah. So looking at gold, we still have some bearish momentum. We can see where price started at for the day, which was right here. Rejected back up. Hit the top of my zone right here at 2038, 2036. Continue to treat this low as resistance because, again, like I was talking about before, we have bearish momentum. We see clear lows getting made. So if we see price going to the downside, that means price is going to most likely break support levels and treat them as resistance. Like we can see right here, price broke the support level, treated as a resistance, right? Retested, continue to treat this resistance, broke the support level, treated as resistance, right? Still respecting this level as resistance, but failed to break this support level and hold it as a resistance, and then failed to break this support level and hold it as resistance. But we see here price is still holding this level as resistance. So looking at gold, we're still going to be looking for sales as of now. If it continue to hold under 2036 like it is right now as resistance. So if it can continue to hold 2036 as resistance, the next place we could target and see price go to is 2030, 2028. Now, for the downtrend to continue, price is going to have to break the support level of 2028, 2026. Treat that as resistance to continue to push down back to where price left off yesterday at 2020. And it would have to break that level and treat that as a resistance for the downtrend to continue. So right now we're still looking for sales. Right now we're still looking for sales. As we see, it did a nice drop. It's doing a retest, like I was talking about before. It's got this level of trap that's going to have to break through to continue to push to the downside. We can see price is attempting in real time. So we're going to see if price can do so. But yeah, that's what's going on with gold. That's what's going on with gold. That's for Black Hammer and Nova. What's going on, Lady Crypto? We're measuring the failure to hold a level. What time frame are you looking for? The same time frame you see me on right here. Like what y'all see on the live, I'm not holding back on it. This is literally what I'll be doing if I was to be watching charts and looking for setups. Now, again, I don't really be on my computer. The only time I'm really on my computer is like when I'm live doing meetings, one-on-one sessions, recording content for y'all. But what I look for is the same thing, and how I do is the same thing. Just like on here, right? Like I said, we're waiting to see if price can break this level, treat it as a support, right? The same way I take entries, the same way I look for my entries. This is what I'm doing right here. I don't switch time frames. I look on this exact time frame for my confirmations to see if price can break these levels or not. So what y'all are seeing is exactly what I do. You guys got any questions? Drop them in the chat. We're looking at your charts. Drop them in the chat. Like a perfect example is yesterday's live stream. So if y'all watch yesterday's live stream, not only did a lot of charts and pairs go as protected from the video I dropped in the Sunday chart analysis, not in the Sunday chart analysis, but we saw a perfect example of me waiting for a confirmation, price failing to meet my confirmation, and the price meeting my next confirmation. And that was GN. Right, so if y'all go to yesterday's live stream, we was looking for a buy setup here because when we started the London session live, price already started to move a little bit early, so we couldn't enter this buy right here. So the next point to look for a buy would have been if price could have broke this resistance level and held it as a support, similar to what we've been talking about, during this live stream with certain levels, certain pairs. But as we can see here, price failed to break this resistance level and rejected back down, right back to the initial entry. So then, after we saw this retest, price continued to hold this level of support. You could have went for this buy, not only caught this move, but then caught the next move on the push up, right? But literally, my confirmations are looking all on this time frame. For the most part, I'm looking for entry. As far as like my confirmations for the trend and the direction price is going and all that other stuff, I use the other time frames. But for my entries and stuff, I use the 15. But yeah, we see some retracements going on, some retests going on. US30 looks like it's about to try to retrace. And again, on US30, I'm not really going for a sell right now because we kind of got back into the bullish territory. So I want to see how it reacts to these levels right here. All right, because it failed to break and hold 37,270 as a resistance. As we can see, even better on a smaller time frame. Failed once, failed twice, failed thrice. Get shot and exploded back up. So now it looks like it's about to try to push back down. But I'm not really going to go for a sell right here. I'm going to wait to see how it reacts down here. Again, that's just me personally. I'm not too concerned with catching every pip. I'm okay with missing some moves. I have no issue with that. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we're looking at your charts, drop them in the chat. But we're just chilling patiently. We're in one trade with the members. We already hit a couple TPs. Got some retracements and retests going on, some other charts. And we got a few minutes. So we got about 3.5 minutes to the next 15. The next 5 minute pops up. Those just joining the stream, make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join a free signal through Telegram. You see on your screen how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link and check that out for yourselves. Went over how we did last month. Going to pull up in a little bit how we did last quarter. But you see that on your screen. Last month we went 22-1, catching 24,481 pips. Last quarter was 76-7, caught 240,157 pips. Just dropped a video yesterday on YouTube. If you haven't checked it out yet, make sure to check that out after the live stream. Y'all know how YouTube works. Go ahead and explore the channel. Look at the playlist. Look at the videos. But we're going to see what this next 15 looks like. Can I go over SPX? Yeah, it's similar to US30, but I'll go over the specific price levels for SPX. The NAS, US30, SPX, they're all in similar situations. I got you. All right, same thing. We had bearish momentum, but just like US30, it failed to break these support levels, hold them as resistance, thus stopping the downtrend. And then we had the reversal come back into play, right? We had this wick on Friday. Then we had price again struggle to hold these lows as a resistance. Had the nice wick, then rejected back to the upside. So now we're back in bullish territory. Now we don't have a higher high yet. For a higher high to get made, price is going to have to break 4,800 to hold that as a support. But we have some bullish momentum. So right now, I'm watching to see how price reacts in these zones I have right here. All right, so I'm not necessarily going to be looking for sells. Let's get rid of this. Right now, I'm going to be looking for buys. But right now, I want to watch to see how price reacts to these levels. So I want to see how price is going to react to 47.55 If you can hold this level of support, we could look for buys going down to, going up to 47.75. If we can break that level from a resistance, hold that as support, and then we'll definitely be back in buy territory where we can look for buys going to 47.90, 4800. I wouldn't really look for sells unless price breaks back below 47.30, 47.25. But right now, I'm looking at possible buys. But again, I'm just waiting for the confirmations to see if price can hold this level or not. But that's basically what's going down with NAS, US30, and SPX. Y'all reverse back to the upside. All right, we'll see the same thing with NAS. SPX and US30 are just the most aggressive. And if y'all haven't watched the Sunday chart analysis, yes, it is Tuesday. But I'll still recommend watching that because it goes over all the charts we're looking at. And again, that chart analysis isn't just what I see price doing Monday. That's what I see basically long term, the direction, or what we could see price doing long term for the week. All right. And so far, a lot of stuff went as projected. But yeah, right now, we're going to see what this next 15 is talking about. Once my screen loads back up. Yeah, so GN rejected that resistance level, failed to hold it as a support, which is why we didn't go for that buy setup. So now we're waiting to see if it's going to retrace back down to this level where we can look for a buy, or if it can reattempt to break back above this level, we can look for a buy. But with a lot of these currency pairs, we had a huge reversals happen last week or for the past 2 weeks. So we could see some retracements happen because we also have some levels of traffic to the left that are going to need to get broken for the trend to continue. And of course, that's going to need some volume to come into play or some news in order for that to happen. Same thing with GA. And of course, we don't have any high impact news today, but we have that tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. Right, but we see a lot of choppiness, very small wiki candlesticks, not that much volume compared to like what we saw Sunday night and kind of New York session yesterday. But again, we see price rejecting levels and retracing. We see price retracing. We're going to see if we can reattempt to break that level. And then we see gold, US30. So we see a lot of charts retracing right now. So we're just going to let them do their thing. We're just going to let them do their thing. You guys got any questions? Drop them in the chat. When looking at your charts, drop them in the chat. But we're just chilling, patiently waiting. We got a new 5-minute just popped up. You guys got any questions? Drop in the chat. When we're looking at your charts, drop in the chat. Those just joined the stream, we have not entered this trade. This is just a trade idea. We have not entered this trade. Go ahead and hit that first link in the description. Join the free signal, free Telegram. You see on the screen how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link and check it out for yourselves. Shout out everybody watching the live. This is the boring part of trading, but this is the reality of trading. You know, you don't just open the computer every day. Sometimes it happens, but you don't just open the computer and just immediately start harping into trades. That's just not how it works. Right? You look for the same type of setups every day, but as far as when the moves happen, it varies. Depends on the trend, volume, what part of the trend we're in, a few other variables. Right now, we're really just waiting for volume because without volume, price can't break these levels, which would cause the small candlesticks in the wicks. When there's no volume, price is just going to continue to just play and hug these levels or just range and bounce back and forth. So that's what we're really waiting on right here. We see GA still holding this level of support. But we're going to see if we can push up or not. Then we see GJ rejected that level. See goals retesting. We see US30. We're going to see how price reacts this next 15 or so. You guys got any questions? Drop them in the chat. When looking at any charts, drop them in the chat. New 5-minute popped up. We got 5 minutes to the next 15, and the next hour pops up. But let's see what that's looking like. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, y'all. Y'all see it scrolling at the bottom of y'all screen. Instagram's playmaker_way. TikTok's _playmakerway_. Post daily on both pages. Make sure to check that out. Gonna be dropping another post later on during the New York session. And I got a lot more content dropping on YouTube for y'all as well, so be on the lookout for that. If y'all not caught up, go ahead and catch up after this live on the videos that I dropped yesterday and the ones dropped last week. I got a few more dropping this week as well, so be on the lookout for that. I can see prices kind of chilling right here. So that's where the other charts are up to. GJ's trying to push back up. US30 chilling right here. Hasn't really done too much. Yeah, prices are just chilling in place right now. All right, so price rejected that level. Let's see what these other charts are up to. Yeah, so we got some retracements going on. So we're still going to be on the charts, but it looks like prices retracing. It's kind of like what happened on the live yesterday. But as soon as we ended the live, things started to pick up. But we see retracements going on with a lot of these charts right here. So we're going to see what happens. Again, we did push up for like 2 weeks straight. So retracement does make sense, especially because, again, we see here we hit this resistance level right below this huge level of traffic right here. So, again, not too shocking. So we're going to see if we can hold this level or if we're going to continue to try to retrace. But, again, we look at a daily time frame, price pumped up for multiple days. The retracement isn't too shocking. Retrace was a part of the game. So we're just going to let price retrace and do its thing. And we're just going to look for the next entry point that I personally like. We're still going to be on the charts, though. But yeah, that's what's going on with all these charts right here. Price just hit this level. Well, not quite. So we're going to see how price reacts right here. See if it holds the lowest support or starts to drop back down to this daily level right here. We didn't really look for sells again unless price breaks below like 300, 305. It starts treating that level as a resistance. But even if it retraces down to like 320, 325, if it can still hold that as support, I'm still going to consider buys. So we're just going to have to wait and see how price reacts to this level and or the level above or below this level. Yeah, that's what we got going on with a lot of these charts. So we saw GJ rejected this level. Now it's kind of just chilling here. We see some wicks underneath these candlesticks. So it looks like it is trying to attempt to push back up. But again, without any volume, price is just going to play pinball, kind of like what we saw, yesterday with all the charts. Currency pair wise, that is. Shout out everybody in the live. I see all them people left, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't control the markets. I ain't the ones. If it goes up to me, price will just be going exactly as planned when I enter a trade or when I want. But since you don't control the markets, it's just like fishing. Just because you casted a line last week and caught 3 fish doesn't mean you come to the same park, same lake, same beach, mountainside, the same exact time. That doesn't mean you're going to catch 3 fish every single time. Just because you caught a fish in 30 minutes last time doesn't mean you're going to catch a fish every time within 30 minutes. That's just not how life works. But we're still going to be on the charts. Well, that's why it's always important to understand what's going on, because when we understand what's going on, it's also going to help you with your perspective and patience. And again, it's just with trading, it's just like a lot of things in life. You just got to face reality. Once you accept and face reality, it helps you understand and accept what's going on these charts. So looking at GA, it's still holding its level of support, but of course I want to see if we can push back up and show us trying to take these highs out to the left. So we're still going to be the charts, but again, right now a lot of these charts are just retracing, doing retests. Nothing can really do about that. As far as news, there's no news popping off at all today. So again, it's just like a regular Monday and Tuesday. Mondays and Tuesdays are usually the slowest days of the week with the lowest amounts of volume. Things start to pick up Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday are usually the smoothest days trading wise. So we're still going on the charts. Members, you already know we're going to be dropping the New York price watch list for y'all in a couple of hours, so be on the lookout for that. If you haven't checked out my most recent video, make sure to check that out. I dropped that yesterday on YouTube, so make sure to check that one out. And then we'll be back at it same time, London session 3 EST tomorrow.